What's up, dude dogs? I'm not the one who normally says that. It's Daniel. We're back for another episode of Worst Year of Our Lives. Like I just said, I'm Daniel.
I'm Kelly.
Drew.
I'm Greg.
We got Greg back for another episode. You may remember him from a couple months ago. Friend of the podcast. Chiming in with some real hot takes on a real action-packed show. There was a lot that happened in this episode.
There's too much that happened.
Like an hour's worth of matches happened in 45
Or like,
minutes.
just
Not even.
segments
Just like,
in the first 20 minutes.
like 20 minutes.
You guys ever get, like, Saturn missiles? You know what those are?
No.
Like a fireworks, and then they're just, like, in a group of them, and then they light off.
And they
And
just
they
go,
just go everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, like, what this episode was like.
Inside baseball, I'm the one who takes notes for these shows, and this was a goddamn clusterfuck taking notes. Like, I could not actually watch the show. I was just struggling to keep up.
Yeah.
So, it is the Lord's year 2000. It is August 28th. We are from Las Cruces, New Mexico. It's Nitro. Let's go. Let's start off Steiner, Jeff Jarrett, Kevin Nash. There was like a promo video that kind of showed them like, hey,
The NWO is back.
yeah, remember when these guys were in the NWO?
like 7 months ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, and they were spray painting things and hitting people with guitars, and there was a lot of Bret Hart in that video,
Yeah.
which I guess like sort of paid off.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It was foreshadowing for later in the episode. So those guys arrived with Vince Russo in a limo, and then we were straight to wrestling. And actually, a pretty entertaining match. We had the Dark Carnival of Vampiro and ICP versus 3 Count. I wrote that this was like straight up a yard match, but it was like a really entertaining yard match.
Yeah.
Muda was on commentary.
Yes, Great Muda was on commentary because he was working later on the show. And he was just muttering random stuff, basically. But there
He was
was...
just yelling at the top of his
Yeah, he
lungs.
was just like,
He wasn't even making like words, just noises.
This match maybe went 2 minutes. That's kind of like... There's a ton of matches on the show, and most of them are in the first hour.
Also, when we realized that the ICP are better wrestlers than Vampiro at this point.
Oh,
Yeah, they were like
Better
Vampiro.
bumpers.
I don't know what Vampiro was on because like he was one of the he was one of the better wrestlers early in the year
Yeah.
as a babyface.
Yeah.
And now he's a heel and he kind of sucks.
Just doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't care. And ICP were like, yeah, we can do moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wrote there's a bunch of dives, big moves. ICP they basically like Vampiro hits the nail in the coffin, then Violent J hits a pretty cool like press slam into Samoan drop
Yeah.
on Shannon Moore,
Yeah.
and then Shaggy Two Dope comes off the top with a leg drop, and they win.
Yeah.
That I wrote ICP is better than 3 Count. I guess they were. I don't know. I don't remember.
I remember
Some of the timing was off on
Yeah,
3 Count. Some of their high spots. Yeah. Then this is one segment. This is 30 seconds. Tank Abbott comes out. He beats up 3 Count. Then
Hank Abbott, who last time we saw him was a heel.
with Vince Russo.
Yeah.
Yes, he beats up 3 Count.
Yeah, he beats up the guys he's been, like, watching and wanting to be, like, friends with.
And were they not
That's the
also
tactic.
were they also not heels earlier this year?
Yes.
Well, they were heels up until last show when Tank got mad at them because they weren't singing his song properly.
Gotcha.
Because he wrote a song.
Gotcha.
And they wouldn't perform it, so he stormed out on them. But that was the last thing that, unless we missed something.
So
on
I
Thunder.
guess they're baby faces now because the Dark Carnival are heels.
I guess, but like by the end, they all teamed up.
Yes, well, so what ends up happening is they all team up to go 6-on-1 on Tank. Then the Demon attempts to make the save.
Tank really enjoyed.
Sure. As you're probably quite right. The Demon makes the save. Muto jumps the Demon. Then Sting clears the entire ring. And we have Sting, Tank, and the Demon standing tall. So I guess Tank is a babyface?
I mean, by default, I
guess.
guess.
It's a lot of shades of gray, and none of it makes sense.
None of it makes sense.
That's kind of this whole episode. It's a real Vince Russo episode, guys. Speaking of which, we have a promo with Vince Russo and then the reformed NWO, which they're not called
They're not
NWO,
called
but it's those guys.
I believe he referred to them as the family.
Okay.
Was what he was calling them. We are a family. We are the family.
I thought this promo was terrible. Like,
That was real bad.
Was it? I don't.
we were all just talking over it because it was just like a bunch of nonsense.
nonsense.
Yeah, I don't even remember it because I don't we were just like, it was so awful.
The one thing I remember was Scott Steiner calling out Goldberg for beating up his girlfriend and saying the only way that I would look as bad as your girlfriend was if I shaved my ass and walked backwards.
Yep. Take that, Goldberg.
Yep.
Got him.
He burned you good. Your girlfriend looks like a man on steroids ass.
Yep. A muscular bottom.
They set up the main event because they're saying, okay, it's going to be Kane Nash versus Booker at the pay-per-view. But we're going to do it tonight instead.
Yeah.
With Jeff Jarrett as the referee and Scott Steiner as the special enforcer. When we get to that match, it is straight up lunacy.
Oh, yeah.
Made me walk out of the room.
It did. It's real bad.
I think you guys just don't understand art.
It's an art form.
If that is art, it's some real high concept shit that is beyond all of us.
Avant-garde German cinema. Yeah.
Russo invites Booker in. Booker's gonna come in and like take him down, even though like that's kind of a bad idea. The Cat stops him.
Natural Born Thrillers are blocking the ring too.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Too.
The Cat stops him. Then the two of them go in to, I guess, beat him up.
Can we talk about what the Cat was wearing?
Yes.
By all means, describe it.
I'm gonna say it was like a poncho but it was like the size of a poncho. Had sleeves though.
Yep.
And had little thumb holes in the sleeves.
Yeah.
But also it was see-through.
Made out of like fishing net.
Yeah, it was like a see-through black dashiki. Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
I thought.
Also, let's not gloss over what Booker T was wearing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Velvet tiger print shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Was it
It was pretty
sleeveless?
sick.
No,
No,
it
it had
had
sleeves.
sleeves.
Oh, speaking
It's all about sleeves.
of tigers, Scott's not here. In case you haven't noticed, I think he's off trying to resurrect WCW.
Scott's not here. What was the song? I don't know
Scott's
the song.
not here.
Da na 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 na. Scott's not here. Na 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 na. We wish that he was, but it's cool because Scott's not here. That's an Easter egg for people who were watching VCW in 2005.
Yeah.
But it looked like his gear, like his outfit was like he went to the thrift store and Seven had unloaded his stuff at like the Value Village and the Cat picked it up.
Yeah. So the Cat and Booker go to beat up the heels. They get beat down, obviously. The Filthy Animals make the save.
Oh yeah, Cat's face now.
Yeah, Cat's been facing
yeah.
a couple shows now.
They all get beat down by the Natural Born Thrillers and whatever, the family or whatever we're going to call them. And then that's interrupted by Goldberg on the big screen digging a grave and being like, hey, Russo, I'm going to bury you in this grave.
I'm going to leave you in the desert so no one will find you.
And your ass is next.
I believe he said, your ass is grass and I'm going to smoke it.
I don't think he said that.
I think you said that.
Yeah. The Cat is going out on a stretcher. He's going to the hospital. Russo's distraught in his office. Oh, this is actually a really funny bit.
Yeah.
Vince Russo's in his office. He's really distraught because of Goldberg
Threatening to kill him.
His phone rings. He picks it up, and it's Goldberg saying, like, hey, Vince, I'm coming to murder you. But Russo is so distraught, and they obviously didn't sync it up with the pre-tape, that he, like, throws the phone down before Goldberg's finished.
Slams it off the desk.
Yeah, but then we still hear Goldberg finish his threat.
Which is your next.
Yeah, you're next, and I'm going to bury you. Like, word up, you're going to die. I wish he did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's terroristic threats, I know, guys. I'm sorry. Match 2, if you can call it that. I wrote worst match ever. Paisley versus Tigress versus Major Guns.
Oh my god.
Why do they keep letting them wrestle?
Because that Vince
I know.
makes you have to prove your worth.
You gotta justify that we're paying you money to be on the show.
Yes. And also, I think he gets off on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
Gotta get them girls in there, getting all sweaty and wrestling each other.
literally, here's the match. Paisley does this weird wind-up, like, roundhouse kick to Major Guns' back.
It's like a motion.
It's like a point karate kick where she's like
Yeah.
holding it up and then she snaps her leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
But not very hard.
But
Yeah.
It's like a flick.
yeah.
Major Guns gets, like, stunned. Tigress takes her down and does an okay jackknife hold. She's got a nice bridge. And then the referee counts 3. Major Guns kicks out at 3.
No, sort of.
Sort of.
Like,
No, I
lifts
don't
an
think
arm.
she does.
No,
She
she does.
lifts her
She does the
arm.
thing where you buff them in the ribs,
Yeah.
but she's late
Yeah.
and not very forceful with it.
Yeah.
The referee counts 3, and then the referee's like, "Yep, that was 3. Ring the bell." They go like, "Ding, ding, ding. Here's your winner, Tigress." And the referee immediately is like, "No, I was just kidding. It was only 2." Then they go for like another minute of just kind of like
Awkward, nobody
mean
knows the
mugging
spots.
and whatever. I don't know if they even do much in the way of spots.
No,
I think
but
they just
like-
kind of pie face each
It's one of
other.
those things where they're like trying to figure out, like, oh, do we just keep doing the next spots we're supposed to
Yeah.
do, or do they just like they shove Major Guns down?
Yeah.
And then the two of them have like
Paige just leaves.
Yeah,
She just leaves,
walk
and
off.
then
done with
and then
it.
they're like, "All right, match is over."
Yep.
Yeah, it was weird, and not good. The Filthy Animals, they hunt down the Natural Born Thrillers who are guarding Russo's office.
Oh, yeah.
They call them a bunch of cranberries.
Yeah,
Right.
which
That's a term I've never heard
Didn't
before.
realize that was an insult.
Yeah.
That they straight up pepper spray them and him with lead pipes.
yeah.
Then Conan just opens the door and he's like, "Hey, Vince Russo, if Goldberg doesn't kill you, we're going to.
Yeah.
So, like, good luck." Then we have this. This is actually a funny show-long bit. We have Jeff Jarrett in the parking lot.
yeah.
There's a pickup truck that just has a bunch of guitars in like the back of the truck.
I believe
The bed of
he,
the
I
truck,
believe he
yeah.
like guides them to back up to the building,
But
and
it's
then
like-
stops them, and then starts looking through the guitars, like,
Yeah.
which one
one do I want?
Which
The
one's
silver
the good
one?
ones?
Do I want
But
the-
it's like a little Toyota truck that
Yeah.
doesn't need
Yeah.
It's just like it's a little pickup.
It's like a
Yeah, it's just a
short
little
bed
box.
Toyota truck.
Yep. He picks out a guitar.
But like clearly there's a bunch of brown ones, and then the spray painted silver ones.
Yeah.
So he's like, no, I'll take the silver ones that say Slapnuts on them. Pulls those ones out of the truck.
We have a Mike Awesome promo with Pamela Poundtown. I think it's the only time she's on the show.
What is her real name?
I think
Pamela
Poundtown.
Pamela Paulshock?
Paulshock.
Paulshock,
Pamela
I think.
Paulshock?
Yeah.
Dollar pound.
It's not even a name.
No.
What the
It's basically just like, hey, Mike Awesome, you got to face Jeff Jarrett at the pay-per-view in a bunkhouse match, so I guess you're facing Rick Steiner in a bunkhouse match now. That was
Pretty
it.
much.
Yeah.
This is also,
And his music was playing.
yeah, also the first time he's done 70s stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
he's wearing the leisure suit, and he's got there's the subtle music in the background.
Hair's parted.
Yeah.
Waved.
Which I can't believe I wrote this down. The next match we have the Night Stalker and Crush versus the Harris Brothers in a cage match. It's Chronic for those who aren't playing along at home. They have a cage match. It goes 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing really happened.
Nothing happens.
There's some punches and
Literally,
then-
the highlight of the match was the line that Greg said
Yeah.
when we were talking about how Chronic. They can't make up their mind how they're spelling Chronic. Be like on the title cards, it's KRONIC.
Their T-shirts.
On T-shirts,
Yeah.
it's with a K, right?
Yeah.
Some fans have it with a C. Where it's like, no, like it's the year 2000, guys. Like you spell things, you're not spelling it right. Chronic doesn't start with a K.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna start with a K, you
Right,
finish
yeah,
with a
right.
K. It looks cool. You got two Ks there, and then we had the Harris Brothers coming out. At which point, Greg remarked,
If you need your third K, here they Harris Brothers.
exactly. So we had the alt-right Harris
Because
Brothers,
they're racist.
alt-right racist brothers versus racist brothers, Harris Brothers.
No, that's correct.
Yeah, they're racist brothers versus Antifa.
Is that like the Legion of Doom 2000, but it'd be the Harris Brothers 2018? Like,
Basically. So they like brawl into the cage, and the cage just a panel of the cage just breaks off.
Yeah.
It just we were like, was that?
It
supposed
wasn't
to
like
happen?
even on impact, right? It was like it just kind of started. It just fell.
It just fell. They fell through. Then like the Harris Brothers started beating up
What about
fans.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
A punch to fan. I don't even know if it was a plan.
I'm assuming it was a
Really
plan.
plan.
It was
I
just
don't know. The Harris brothers are crazy and insane enough to punch a real fan.
That's true.
it was a no contest regardless. Out next we have
That guy. White.
Oh,
But maybe he was pro race mixing.
clearly a traitor.
sure. Maybe he was pro. What time of the year is this? The election still is going to happen. Maybe he's an Al Gore supporter.
Maybe.
Maybe he votes green for what's his face?
Nader?
Yeah, Ralph
Ralph
Nader.
Nader.
Maybe he's a Ralph Nader supporter. I don't know.
Oh no, not Nader.
Well, I believe I'll vote for a third party. Go ahead. Throw your vote away.
Speaking of people who can't vote in the upcoming 2000 election, Lance Storm is out to challenge MIA to a prisoner of war match.
Yeah.
At this point, I noticed it's been nothing but gimmick matches basically on
Yeah,
this show, but I guess that's kind of Vince
And
Russo's
just get it
MO.
as done as fast as you can matches.
Yeah.
So in a prisoner of war match,
Yeah.
whoever wins. So if Lance Storm wins, he gets to take prisoner someone from the MIA, and if MIA wins, he gets to take someone from Team Canada.
Correct.
But question: there's only 2 members of Team Canada.
Yes.
So in theory, you have to take Elix Skipper, right?
Yes, because the Rougeau brothers aren't there.
Because they don't get work
'Cause they-
visas.
They can't get work visas.
And nobody else has joined yet.
Correct. We get Duggan later, right?
Duggan's in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then Mike Awesome's not till the end of the year.
Oh, I forgot that he joins. And
Mike
when I say
Awesome.
Rougeau brothers, I mean
Very
Quebecers, not
Quebecers,
Rougeau brothers.
yeah.
Yeah, Mike Awesome is just through a revolving door of gimmicks in
Fat
the year
Chick
2000.
Thriller, that 70s guy, Team Canada. And he's Team Canada till the end.
Yeah.
Till the very
And
end.
because when they jumped to WWE, I remember him and Storm,
Yeah.
on that first time where the WCW guys showed up, they were together. So, so we get Lance Storm versus the debuting as a member of MIA, Sergeant AWOL.
No, he's been. He had a couple appearances.
Gotcha.
No matches yet, but a couple
Gotcha.
appearances.
Yeah, so Hugh Morris came out and said, MIA doesn't stand for Misfits in Action. It stands for Made in America.
Yeah.
Go after yourself. Here comes Sergeant AWOL. And by the way, now your Prisoner of War match is also a tables match.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes out with a table wearing an All Out War shirt, which is a sick, I want to say Connecticut hardcore band from that era. They don't really do much.
No.
I could tell you the finish. I don't know what else they did.
Yeah, that's...
Elix Skipper hit him with the Canadian flag.
Canadian flag.
Yeah.
all I
The finish
remember.
is kind of cool. He's going to suplex Lance from the apron out. Lance breaks off, and he does the Jericho springboard into a drop kick, and then AWOL falls off the apron through the table. It was at that point I realized, oh, this is a tables match because they rang the bell, and then literally Lance Storm just runs out of there and steals a woman.
Takes a woman as
Yep.
his prize. The way it should be.
Okay.
Got you, bitch.
You know what? I lied. Pamela Paulshock with a promo with Sting talking about Muda.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
showtime. Yada yada
Oh,
yada.
yeah.
Match 5, and if you think we're just ripping through these things just rip. We're 20 minutes into the show, maybe. Rick Steiner versus Mike Awesome in a bunkhouse match. They didn't really do anything too bunkhousey. It was just no DQ, and they used a table.
Yeah, that was it.
Awesome did his dive. They just kind of didn't do much. They just brawled around ringside.
Yeah.
He sets up a table in the ring. He goes to give Rick the awesome bomb in the corner, the running, throwing one. Jeff Jarrett comes out, hits him with a pipe. Rick gives him a German through the table for the finish.
Yep.
So, way to lose your, warm-up match. for
Yeah,
the
correct.
pay-per-view.
We're building to Mike Awesome versus Jeff Jarrett in a bunkhouse match. So let's have Mike Awesome lose in a bunkhouse match.
To part-time wrestler Rick Steiner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't seen him much. Since...
He came back the show that Steiner turned heel, and then they were building. They gave us the worst cock tease of all time. Booker and Scott Steiner in the ring.
Yeah.
They start brawling. Rick runs out to make the save.
Oh, yeah.
Stevie Ray was on commentary.
Yeah.
Stevie came in. They had a big brawl, got
You
separated.
figure you're
And
going to
we're
get Harlem Heat versus Steiner Brothers.
2000, and we're going to get Harlem Heat versus Steiners. And they're like, nope, we're not going to do that. It was Booker versus Rick, I think, was
Yeah.
the match.
Gotcha. That sounds right.
Bullshit.
Speaking of Booker,
Clearly.
Bullshit.
Clearly.
we have Booker T versus K Nash. At this point, I wanted to check how long we were into the show.
Oh, yeah.
Because
that's-
this had
Everybody
to.
kept saying,
that's-
don't do it, Dan.
That's what happened
Because
during
it's
that
dangerous.
promo, or that we were not paying attention to, is that Vince Russo gave
That's right.
Nash the title shot tonight instead of at Fall Brawl.
But I think also at Fall Brawl.
But also
Yeah,
at Fall Brawl.
Also at
Yeah.
Fall Brawl, but in...
in a cage.
In a cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're building.
Yeah.
They're building to that cage rematch. So as we said previously, this is K Nash with Jarrett as the ref and Scott Steiner as the special enforcer. Vince Russo on commentary. This may be the most Vince Russo segment I've ever seen in my
I don't
life.
think there's even
Literally
a
a
question about
swerve
it.
for the sake of a swerve.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
no one's invested in anything because nothing is ever given any kind of stakes. It just happens for the sake of happening.
Yeah.
And then nothing means anything when it happens, especially in this situation where it literally made no sense.
Yes.
It was infuriating. It made me leave.
Yeah, I mean, Drew did kind of throw a grown man fit about it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm done. You're like,
So
you left the room.
So I'm going to say 80% of the match is K Nash getting heat on
And this is the one
on,
that
on
Russo's
Booker.
on commentary, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he can't let... There's literally no... There can be no open space of air.
Yeah.
He has to
He has to constantly
Yeah.
be
fill it.
talking.
He has
Yes.
to fill it.
And he also gets up and leaves commentary to go to the ringside to get sent back to commentary
Yes.
twice.
Yeah, to argue with Jeff Jarrett. Because, surprise, guys, Jeff Jarrett is calling this down the middle. He's not letting Kevin Nash cheat. He's not letting Scott Steiner as the outside enforcer cheat.
Yeah.
He's not... When Russo's like, hey, what are you doing? Why aren't you following the plan? He tells Russo to go back to the commentary table.
He like drags him back to the commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to call this down the middle.
He then kicks Steiner out.
He throws out a cheating Scott Steiner. K Nash is on heat for this is probably, well, I was going to say 10 minutes. It's probably 7 minutes.
Yeah,
but
probably exactly.
It felt like
it felt long. Also, because we were like, why is Jeff Jarrett just going to call this down the middle? Here's why. Booker makes a comeback. K Nash bumps like a sack of shit for it. It's a big surprise. He takes a bunch of his spots.
Takes a really bad bookend.
that booking was awful.
That
it
was
was like the old one foot leaves the ground, but the other one
But
stays
earlier in
there.
the match,
yeah.
Kevin Nash had Booker beat.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah,
And but Jeff Jarrett didn't see it because he was throwing.
Yeah, Jeff
Steiner
Jarrett.
out.
Yes.
Jeff
Which
Jarrett
is
was
like-
doing all the heel referee spots that would happen when the face is up on the heel, but
doing
reverse.
reverse
Right.
order
Yeah.
for his
I just
crew.
want to set
Yeah.
that up because then at the end of this, what you're about to explain,
Yeah.
this is why it clearly makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to remember exactly what exactly did he do? 'Cause, surprise, guys! It was a big swerve. He turns on Booker.
What?
Yeah. He just hits him with the guitar, right?
Well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Russo gets up, slides the guitar.
Russo gets up and gives him the guitar. Yeah.
After Jeff Jarrett has also told Russo to go back commentary.
Yeah. And Steiner also, because
Yeah,
Steiner just
the-
comes
the Steiner
back.
just fucking walks back out.
Yeah. And then he's just like, oh, who's he gonna hit with this? The biggest surprise ever.
Yeah.
Not he just hits Booker with it, and then Booker gets powerbombed, and he counts to 3.
Hold on.
Booker takes a good powerbomb.
Let me,
He
let, me
does.
let me ask you guys this: who is the rule enforcer in this match?
In theory, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
So, who if you had a referee, right?
Yes.
And you needed to fool that referee,
Yes.
and you hit somebody with a guitar,
Yeah.
right? You'd clear the ring.
Yeah,
of
that's the other
debris.
thing.
Correct.
Yes, I forgot about
So,
that. Yeah.
but if you are the person who is in charge,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then you hit the other person with the guitar,
Yes.
why are you clearing debris out of the ring to
Clearing-
fool yourself? I don't.
Yeah.
It was like.
That is in fact a thing that Jeff Jarrett did.
Yeah.
He hit him with a guitar and then cleared all the
And then
debris
spent
out.
20 seconds getting all of
And
the
so did
debris
Vince
out.
So the referee didn't see it, but
Yes.
he's the referee.
Maybe Jeff Jarrett's bipolar. And
Yeah.
he's afraid that the other Jeff Jarrett was going to see what he did.
That is possible.
And
That would be schizophrenic.
schizophrenic.
Yes. K Nash hits a powerbomb. That looks good.
Yep.
And then pins him, and they're like, surprise, bitch. K Nash is the champion.
Take that, losers.
And
we're,
then-
we're all together.
They go to commercial. They
Yes.
come back.
Yes.
This is the
This is
greatest.
the
Yeah.
best.
This is the greatest.
And Tony Schiavone and Mark Madden are talking about what just happened. And Mark Madden, being a pig, I mean, he's just a pig man.
He's a giant piece of shit. He's a fucking. He toes the company line. I
Yeah.
get it. He's the fucking heel announcer, but he sucks so much.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And he's trying to, trying to sell what happened.
Yeah,
And
Mr. Russo and Mr. Jarrett and brr, 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 brr. Sorry, keep going.
And then Schiavone having none of it. He's just like, yeah, whatever, like that.
Tony's so over it at this point.
Yeah.
He just literally says out loud, last segment didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to beat the guy, why don't you just beat him? Why don't you
Yeah.
just cheat to beat
Straight
him?
up, he's like, I don't get why they did that. He could have just helped him cheat right off the go. They would have won. Could have saved all of us time.
Schiavone's so over it.
Schiavone as the voice of as thousands and thousands of WCW fans are turning it off forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the story is always WWF wins the war. And then they have this giant monopoly, and they do. But so many WCW fans didn't jump over to be WWF fans. They just stopped watching wrestling,
Yeah.
period, forever.
Wrestling was done. For
The
them.
wrestling was over for them. And so, that's Schiavone, as the personification of every last lapsed WCW
The
fan.
voice of a nation.
Yeah.
Sure.
What a joke.
Yeah, he's the unsung hero.
Yeah.
He's the unsung hero of this era.
This is 2 weeks or 2 of the last 3 weeks in a row where Schiavone has done something that's just totally the last one was when they cut to him when Goldberg and Tank are fighting, and he's just like, "Why are you looking at us?
Like,
why are you
filming
showing us
us?
right now?"
He's just it is the quintessential I'm phoning it in. I'm getting a paycheck. You
Yeah,
know?
I love he's not even hiding it. It's almost kind of become his character.
Yeah.
At this point, Booker leaves really sad and disheartened, and then Goldberg arrives.
Hold on, he's in gear as he's leaving.
Yes,
too.
he's sweaty and still in his
Yeah.
gear, and then he kind of has a change of heart, I guess. I don't know. Does
Well,
Goldberg?
Goldberg comes in and convinces
Goldberg tells him, "Don't leave yet. I got a plan." And
Yeah,
then they,
yeah. So then we Shane Douglas is with Tori
Oh yeah.
in the balcony.
That was
He ju-
Tori. I thought it was a clown.
Oh, by the way, Shane Douglas is wearing a 2000 as fuck T-shirt.
Yes.
And
Very sparkly.
very sparkly gold and like button up. Like this is kind of
Unbuttoned.
so you can see his
His fat gut.
Yeah, and
his growth hormone and abs. Yeah.
yeah, and cuts like a promo and talks about how he's like the
greatest wrestler in the world. Like he's essentially saying that
he revolutionized.
He revolutionized like ECW and like was
Yeah.
him, and he saved wrestling.
And then like we were like, has anyone ever uttered the phrase Shane Douglas is my favorite wrestler? And I don't think it's ever.
So
been
we
done.
Googled in like hard parenthesis like must match this statement.
Yeah.
Shane Douglas is my favorite wrestler. Shock of all shocks, no results.
Yeah.
And this is also when you guys informed me that he is a manager of a Target now.
You know what? I can't fault the man. He's working hard for a paycheck,
Yeah.
but definitely how the mighty have fallen. He challenges Kidman to. I said Kidman. I mean
Kid man.
he is a kid man. He wasn't on the show, was he?
No,
no, he was not.
He wasn't. He challenges Kid Man to a scaffold match, at which point Crowbar jumps him
Oh yeah.
in the balcony with like a garbage can lid.
Also, why are you doing a promo on a balcony? And this is why you're doing a promo on a balcony.
I think it was just to put
Well,
over
it's
like
the scalp
the
match.
height, right?
That's
Like,
right,
oh,
yeah.
I like heights. Do you like heights, Kid Man? Crowbar jumps him. Douglas turns the tide on him. He throws Crowbar out of the balcony, who takes like a hell of a bump.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Real big bump.
I'm gonna say like at least 12 feet.
Yeah.
Like from the upper level down to the concourse below, onto a bunch of tables that have like boxes and like curtains on them to like hide
Yeah,
that it's a bunch of tables that he's landing on. But it looks pretty brutal. Oh, I forgot about this. This is really good. Douglas then, they have a long shot. They could have cut it to a commercial.
Oh, yeah.
They had a long shot of Douglas walking from the balcony to the ring the whole time. He gets in the ring, keeps talking about how he's the best. Out comes Goldberg. Goldberg's the fucking man, guys, in case you weren't aware.
Oh, this is fucking
Goldberg
insane.
is he is just Goldberg. He comes in, he spears Shane Douglas. Douglas has a studded belt on.
Yeah.
And so Goldberg skins his eye along the belt.
Like, right below the
splits
brow.
it, dude.
Yeah, he splits his eyelid.
It's like split.
Marvin the Beastman Eastman style.
Oh, it's not quite that
The
bad,
goat's
thank
vagina.
God. But it was. He probably did he need stitches? You think?
Yeah, I mean,
I know he Vaselined it up later.
Yeah,
but,
but when I was looking at it, I mean, clearly it was on TV, but it was like a good inch and a half long.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like it was a good
Yeah.
split, and the way the blood was coming out of it was open. You know
the
what I mean?
visual was sick because he spears him, stands up, does a little smirk to the camera, and then
Blood.
immediately blood just starts squirting out. And it was the timing was great. He picked him up. He hit a sick jackhammer.
It was really good.
spinning jackhammer. If we are we doing Fave 5 anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, Goldberg's number 1. Are you kidding me? I with a bang for me.
Goldberg kind of stays on the list, but Scott Steiner is pretty much always number one.
Sure. He's good.
Just because Scott says whatever he wants.
Yeah.
This is true. He cuts a promo still, it's just the reiterating
but
the
he
same.
cuts a promo with the camera way back.
They don't.
So that
They
you
don't do
can't
any
see
close-ups.
so much.
Yeah,
You can't see his face.
they just do long shots because they want to avoid all the blood, which is kind of ridiculous because all they do is crap on this show. But I
Yeah.
guess Turner or whatever TNT
Yeah.
had, they're you can do all this crap, misogynistic crap.
You can sort of vaguely swear.
Yeah, but we don't want to see blood.
Yeah.
So. I think that was just kind of wrestling in that era too. There was no blood on WF at this point too either. So
2000?
I don't think so.
Pay-per-views for sure.
Pay-per-views,
yeah,
sure.
TV, no.
Sometimes.
I think WCW did pay-per-view blood on pay-per-views as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that were too graphic for TV that they needed to be censored out, Kevin Nash in the showers.
Oh yeah. But
You can
They
see his
censor
underwear,
out. They
though.
censor out his butt, as he's going into the showers to have a nice shower pose.
shampoo, dry hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they've got the kind of censored
blur. It's
the
a
blur
It's a
pixelated
blur
thing.
The blur bubble.
But they can't keep it steady on him, so you can see he's wearing underpants or tights,
Yeah.
they're kind of gold lame looking things.
Attempting to match his skin tone as best they can.
I guess so.
Movie magic.
Imagine.
Booker comes in, sees the belt there, hits him with the belt in the shower,
Yep.
and then rams his head up against the shower.
steals the belt.
And then rapes him.
Yep.
I was about to say reasonable thing to do, but I don't know. You lost me there. So,
he gets in and he's like,
He's a raper.
Hey, Kevin, there's a gay man in the shower.
Give me a kiss and I'll
Give
tell
me
you
a
who
kiss,
it
I'll
is.
tell you who it is.
This is Greg's favorite joke, by the way.
Next up, we actually have a pretty good wrestling match. Jeff Jarrett versus Big Vito.
Of all
Yes,
matches.
it was great.
I wrote, goddamn, good match. Cool moves, decent clean finish.
Yeah.
Right?
But it was a clean finish.
It was a clean finish.
Like a legit clean finish.
It was
Jeff
it
Jarrett
was like
match, clean finish. Those
Yeah.
are not two things that
and
usually
like
go
Jarrett
together.
gave Vito a bunch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Vito got a bunch of near falls. He did like a top rope elbow. He did a top rope diving headbutt. He did some power moves. I don't know what he does. What does Vito do?
I don't know.
Sidewalk slam.
Sidewalk slam.
Press slam.
I don't know about that.
I don't know who's the press slam.
Let's just name moves.
Atomic drop.
His finish is the Impaler DDT, but like,
Did he
doesn't
hit that?
hit it. No.
No, he didn't hit
He
that.
did that sweet reversal out of it into the stroke.
Yeah, the finish was cool. Like he lifted up for it. Jarrett like landed, swung out, hit a stroke. I mean, I guess it was like kind of a Triple H in 2000 match where like he sold a bunch for the guy and then just hit his move and was done.
It's a real Triple H versus Taka Michinoku.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, guys, that match doesn't hold up as well.
No.
Like, we went back and
We
watched
went
it.
and watched it. It's
I
like-
loved that match.
When I was a kid, I was excited because I'm like, Taka's gonna.
I thought
fucking win.
Taka was going to win the title. Anyways,
Stupid.
what do we have? Oh, then I guess they go to commercial here. When they come back, Jarrett has gone back out to his pickup truck of
Oh, yeah.
guitars.
I need a new guitar.
You think he would have brought a couple in with him?
No.
But no, he's got to go all the way back out to the parking lot.
Yeah, you just go get another one.
It's his truck depository.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, his guitar depository.
Yes.
His truck is the depository.
Right,
And surprise, bitch, Mike Awesome is hiding under the guitars.
Under the
Like,
pile of
pops
guitars.
out of
Just emerges out of like Godzilla
Gotcha, bitch.
out of the water.
He jumps out of the back of the pickup and then like body slams Jarrett onto a pile of guitars. But I think like mid scoop, he's like, "Oh, if I don't get this guy far in, he's just gonna like ding himself on the back of the tailgate."
Yeah.
So he just kind of like gingerly puts him down on the pile of guitars.
Yeah.
Still a cool spot.
Well, Mike Awesome, total professional. Unless you ask Joey Styles, in which case he's not.
Yeah, Joey Styles, who predicted his death.
Yeah,
So. They're the Natural Born Thrillers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote the Natural Born Sinners. Was that someone else?
Maybe.
That sounds familiar.
That sounds like a wrestling stable, right?
Look it up, Kelly.
Anyways, it's the Thrillers, which rhymes with Killers, which is based on the movie, obviously.
The Killers.
Mike, yeah, the Killer, the John Woo movie.
Yeah.
Natural Born Sinner is a song by In This Moment. But
I don't know who that is, but
Natural Born Sinners wrestling. Yes, it was.
Is it a TNA stable?
Homicide and Boogaloo from.
from
ROH.
Ring of Honor, yeah,
Yeah.
with what's his face as the manager, Julius Smokes. Yeah,
Fucking
sick.
Smokes.
Okay, I'm glad that I didn't just make that up. 'Cause, I mean, if I did, I would use it as a tag team name. No, I wouldn't. Mike Sanders cuts a promo. I did not know he was this Southern. I did not remember him being this Southern. You guys,
Natural Born Sinners were also in ECW.
who was that?
I'm trying to find that out.
They reused the name?
Yeah.
Huh.
Whatever. ECW was out of business.
I guess
they
so.
didn't care. Homestead doesn't give a fuck.
This is true. So Mike Sanders was just like, hey, Filthy Animals, you want to spray us with pepper spray? Let's have an impromptu Survivor Series match.
10-man.
Yeah, a 10-man elimination tag. When they started going, I don't think you guys caught that, because some other people were like, oh, they're just doing a 10-man. And I was like, no, it's an elimination tag.
Yeah.
How are they going to do, how many eliminations are going to do in, like, rapid succession?
Like, how long will they take till this match is over?
I figured it was just going to be like spot finish. Like every spot was going to be a fall. Surprisingly, they actually had a pretty hot, like, 5-minute match.
It's a little,
Yeah,
it's
well,
a
that's
little
also the
sloppy.
point of that Tigress was
Never mind. Not
Yes.
ECW.
doing her second job of the night.
Yes, this is true. Tigress working double duty, guys.
Yeah.
So, I guess we could explain. It's Natural Born Thrillers versus Filthy Animals. So the Thrillers are Mike Sanders, Mark Jindrak, Sean O'Hare,
Palumbo.
Chuck Palumbo,
And Reno.
and Reno.
Stasiak's
Stasiak's hurt.
fucked up knee,
Yeah.
So
And then the Filthy Animals are Ray, Hoovy, Conan, Disco,
not with
and
Q yet.
Tigress. Disco in good shape, though.
Yeah, he's pretty
I thought he looked really good.
Gave himself that glow before the match.
Wearing those FUBU shorts.
He's wearing the FUBU shirts for us, by us.
You can't wear gear in the year 2000. You're crazy.
Yeah, you really can't. We need to bring that back. No gear.
Apparently, you can't even wear gear for your race in 2000, right?
Are you saying that the us that's being referred in the name FUBU is not of disco's us?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. They do a bunch of cool spots actually.
Yeah,
People
it was
like
a little sloppy.
yeah.
Fucking Rey Mysterio like destroying Chuck Palumbo's knee.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He hits a low drop kick and just straight up like
'Cause
bends it the wrong way.
Palumbo has Hoovy in a press.
Yeah.
And then Ray comes off the ropes and drop kicks him straight in the side of the knee. And you just see his knee go to the
Yeah.
other side. And
Yeah.
it's like, ugh.
They do a bunch of cool shit. Then they all brawl out to the floor. Hoovy does a dive onto the pile of 8, kinda gets caught.
Sort of. Yeah.
Then they all just get counted out, leaving Mike Sanders and Tigress. And it's sort of like I just love that's the funniest announcement ever. Like, the 8 competitors have been counted out.
Wait, hold on. Like, how does that even make sense? Because
Oh, only 2 of them are legal.
Illegal.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
No, it makes no sense. It's WCW.
got it.
Don't overthink it, Greg. This
Sorry.
far in, don't overthink it.
Sorry.
So
man.
then
I'm gonna go put on some FUBU shorts.
Tigress looks concerned, but then she made a bit of a she fired up
Yeah, she got
on
fired up.
Sanders,
Yep.
and then Sanders hit his stupid move.
It's the Randy Orton.
It's the
backbreaker.
Randy Orton backcracker thing, like the headlock turn around into or whatever on Tigress and gets the pinfall. Again, we can't show blood, but we can beat up a woman. What the fuck?
Of course.
Clearly.
Women aren't people.
Yes.
Well, not in 2000.
Yeah.
So we have Goldberg. He sneaks into the bathroom. We don't see who he jumps, but then he smashes someone, and it makes a really loud bang.
Oh, yeah, it breaks the mirror.
Yeah. And then we see Scott Steiner just in a heap on the bathroom
Do
floor.
you know what the problem with pre-taping is, though?
Yes.
When you split your fucking eye open on live
Correct.
television and you pre-tape things,
Yes.
that split is not on the pre-tape.
Correct. It was not on this pre-tape. It was not on another pre-tape still to come.
Right.
We have Vince Russo just being like a madman running around backstage, needing someone to back him up.
Oh, yeah. and
He
goes,
finds Vito, and he's like, "Hey,
Former friend.
we're like former legit friends."
Yeah.
There's actually a really funny story about them being friends. Not for this podcast, but
Do they kiss?
they
Well, they
kiss, they
kiss in
kiss
this.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got your wish. I know you want to see everyone kiss, Drew.
Yep.
So Vito's like, "Yeah, Vinny Roo, I got your back. We used to be buddies. We're from the same borough. They're not.
Staten Island and the Bronx.
The Bronx.
are not
That's the same." He kisses him, and then like even the announcers kind of blow the cover. They're like,
That's
"I
the kiss of death."
gave him the kiss of death." All right. So then they are in. Are they in the ring when this happens? Vito and Vince Russo come out together to the
Yeah,
ring.
no,
right?
there's like a commercial break, and then they walk out together.
Yeah, and then there's like just there, like, "Yeah, he's
Vito has
protecting
a
me."
Stickball bat too.
Yes. Goldberg comes out. Vince Russo's like, this guy's going to protect me. What are you going to do about it, Bill? And then, again, shock of all shocks, we saw it coming because the announcers, like, made it very obvious that it was coming. Vito turns on Vince Russo, hits him with a stickball bat. Goldberg grabs him, drags him out. Probably going to kill him.
Also, though, at this point, we missed Goldberg standing there and his eye bleeding, so he goes.
Oh, yeah, it has Vaseline all over it to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And the Vaseline like globs
I
off.
guess it's globbing into his eyeball.
Yeah,
maybe.
there's some blood. So he wipes it and then proceeds to
Just licks it off his
just to
hand.
go ahead and like
Lick it up, Sam.
lick it.
I'm
right
so
off.
tough, I'll eat Vaseline. Fuck it. Oh.
Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, am I right?
Yeah.
He's going to eat Vince...
Is that Stephanie McMahon?
For some people, not me. He's about to eat Vince Russo for dinner. So they go off. We have our main event. Great Muta versus Sting.
Oh, yeah, this is the main event.
This is the main event.
Hey,
Nothing. Sorry.
there's a side conversation.
Side
We're
conversation.
going to share with the class, guys.
No, I was making a dumb joke. That's not funny. So.
Okay, moving on. This match is just kind of this brawl around the ringside the whole time.
And Muda not doing anything.
And
Just
Sting
like,
doesn't even take his jacket off.
No.
It's crazy. This point has probably been made by Scott already on the podcast, I'm assuming. Because Muta is trash.
Oh, yeah.
And next year he has maybe one of the best years of his career when he reinvents himself, shaves his head. He forms BATT. He's Shining Wizard Keiji Muto from the last 20 years that we know. Has a slew of good matches in 2001 in New Japan and All
Has
Japan.
anybody gone to look to see if something changed? Did he sober up? Did he get a surgery? Like what life changing?
I think he just reinvented
I mean, he
himself.
changes his style up a
Maybe he
bit.
cares more. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
I think he changes his style and is like, okay, I want I'm going to get a push because that's the other thing. He's not really affiliated with anywhere. He kind of does what he wants. He eventually becomes an All Japan guy, but and actually a part owner. But so yeah, this match is not very good though. They brawl up and down the aisleway, up and down the ramp. Finally, you can see there's people behind the screen. You can see their silhouettes.
Yeah.
It's obviously the Dark Carnival.
One of them's really fat, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Jay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Night Stalker, but
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Fair. Vampiro rips through the screen. He has the cane. Everyone sees him except for Sting, basically.
And they have to shoot the foam up.
Yeah, I think
That
like
we're late
Sting,
on
I
that.
think they blew that spot. I think the
Yeah, I think Sting was supposed to be standing there when it happened.
like the smoke
Because they shoot the smoke up. Sting turns and feeds into the smoke. And then
From like 10 feet away.
Yeah.
He has to walk all the way over there.
the smoke clears. Vampiro, gingerly as possible, jumps
Yeah.
from, admittedly, a pretty high like screen.
Like 10
Yeah.
feet.
It's 10 feet, so he doesn't want to blow his legs out. But he kind of jumps and like kind of whacks him with the cane. They brawl a bit. They brawl back up the screen and then into like the hole that he's cut.
Yeah, Muda climbs up too.
Muda climbs up too. You can see there's two other silhouettes. You can kind of see they're also wearing like like psychopathic, random like paraphernalia. Like there's a great Malenko hockey jersey that Violent J is wearing.
Yep.
And they
Dan owned.
I did not own.
Oh.
Great record though.
Disappointing.
Probably not a great record, but it's probably their best. And they beat him up behind the screen, and that's about it, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which brings us to our final segment of the evening. We have Goldberg in the desert with Vince Russo, who's begging for his life. They're at that same hole they were just that Goldberg was digging previously.
Murdering hole.
We are maybe 10 minutes from when we last saw them in the middle of the ring.
Again, no cut on his eye.
No cut on his eye. Quite
Real
right.
easy to get out in the middle of the desert though.
Yeah, I mean
Super.
it's New Mexico. I'm sure you could probably get out into the desert
5 minutes.
maybe in half an hour. You know, like they're in an arena. I'm assuming it's in the middle of like the city center. I don't know Las Cruces, but
I didn't
anyways,
even know it existed.
fair.
So
I think it was New Mexico State. There was a college there. So they're there, and then surprise, another car pulls up. It's Bret Hart, and then
No build up either.
This
Just like, oh, here's
this
Brett.
segment is maybe the only thing, or one of the very few things I can count on one hand that I remember from WCW.
From this year.
because I remembered it too.
I was honestly shocked because you, I think it was you, Greg, who you called it earlier in the night. Like, oh yeah, doesn't Bret Hart come back in the desert later? And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck
Hit
are
him
you
with a
talking?
shovel?
What are you talking about? So yeah, he's kind of ripping on Vince Russo, and he's like, you remember Montreal Vince? Like, I remember it.
Survivor Series.
Like Survivor
Son of a
Series,
bitch.
like I'm gonna help Goldberg here, bury ya, like deal with it.
Let's kiss.
And then
like, hey, Russo, there's 3 men out here. One of them.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
This gay man in the desert.
So Goldberg's like, all right, Brett, glad to have you back on board. We're going to bury Vince Russo for burying us, both literally and figuratively. Goldberg turns away. Brett hits him with a shovel, and he's like, remember Starrcade 99? That was more recent than Survivor Series. You ended my career, you son of a bitch, or whatever.
He said, you like to end careers, I also like to end careers.
Yeah. And that's how we go off the air. He doesn't bury anyone, but like,
That we know of.
Yeah.
no. We believe, do we know for a fact, this is Bret Hart's last appearance on WCW?
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Unless does he make one appearance later?
I
no,
swear-
he makes one in
I swear his
Thunder.
last appearance is on a Thunder,
Thunder
but
in,
it's
like,
like some
September.
dumb... Like, he's just in the back talking to someone or something.
I feel like every time we see Bret Hart, we assume it's his last appearance. Because I remember he was just randomly in the crowd for that Reset Nitro when Bischoff and Russo took
Yeah.
over in
He
April.
also appeared on the pay-per-view in Vancouver, right?
Yes, he
Oh,
did. He did
oh.
something to do with Lance Storm, yeah. So he's around. I think he goes away. Let's just assume he goes away, and then when he comes back next week, we'll all be surprised again, guys. So that's it for this week. I guess it was not a good episode.
No.
It flew by,
Had
and
one
then
of
it was
the better
also
matches.
it took forever because of just there were so many segments crammed that it was like the show is nonstop basically. I was gonna say you could skip it. Does anyone actually watch along with us? Is this a thing that we've been
I
informed
will
of?
I
occasionally.
think Jose does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will
All right.
occasionally.
Well, watch this if you like a bunch of segments in the desert And actually, there's some okay stuff.
It's
I don't
worth
know.
watching Goldberg split his eye open.
Yeah, Goldberg's the man.
His final WCW appearance is on September 6th, 2000 edition of Thunder.
Yep.
In a promo where he confronts Bill Goldberg on the injury he sustained 9 months prior. And then WCW terminated Hart's contract via FedEx in October.
So there you go. We won't see that
We
Thunder.
were correct. It is a Thunder.
Yes, we won't see it. 1, we're not watching Thunder, guys. 2, it's not even on the network.
We
so
could,
not 2000. It's not on the network.
But we could watch Thunder.
We're not going to.
No.
No, there will be no second season of Worst Year of Our Lives,
Oh,
guys.
there will be.
Will there?
We're doing the first full year of Raws.
Oh, those are fun though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be the best year of our lives. Okay, Inside Baseball. We'll see you there. Bye.
Bye-bye.